Good. Go ahead.
Another question. So I don't know if you're gonna if I should ask you right now or you're gonna come up with
Go ahead.
like it's like about the positive test and negative test.
Yeah.
Do the test engineer does that thing same time or different time?
All same time. Everything
Positive
part of the user story. He's asking the good question. Yeah. So when you estimate the user story, you consider everything you need to do to get the user story done.
Positive test and negative test.
Positive test, negative test, functional test, automation test, anything related, you take the consideration. Test data preparation. That's
So
the
when
estimation.
you do your estimation. Or
Yes.
you just test it.
Yeah. He's asking good questions.
So
So
we should go for positive part, right?
No.
no, you not. Yeah, you should go. You're right. But of course, in coverage, test coverage, you need to cover everything. It's right. Yeah. Positive means, of course,
Does
that's
it have
the
to be like start from the positive or
always positive. Of course, that's the vanilla, right?
okay.
That's the thing should work. But as a test engineer, you need to identify that this system should never be hacked by anybody else if you type the negative data, right? If you turn off the Bluetooth, you should not be able to connect. If you turn off the Bluetooth on the vehicle, you should not be connected with that vehicle from your phone. You need to test it. You just cannot say it shouldn't work. You cannot say that thing. You need to literally write the test cases. You need to execute the test cases. You need to report it to make sure the expectation is fulfilled. The wording does not work in the environment. Everything has to have a documentation. Okay, different type of test cases. You always do the question. Functionality test case means that whatever you saw in the mobile app or website, that's called the functional testing. Functional means something is working. Unit test case, that is actually is written by the developer, sorry. Who write the code, they need to write another code to test the code. That's called the unit testing. It's called the white box testing. When you see the code, it's called the white box testing. When you do not see the code, it's called the black box testing. So every testing you do is all fall in the black box testing. Any test you do, except the developer does the white box testing.
What's the difference between white box and dark box?
White box means you can see the code. For the sign up, you see the code. So you are writing the code to test that code. That's the white box.
The black box you can't see anything.
You do not see the code, you see the functionality. Make sense? I don't care what is the logic. All I know, I have the user story, I have the acceptance criteria, I will just execute.
I don't care what you do, I just want the result.
Yes. Makes sense? Acceptance criteria, I have it. Performance testing is that's written by the performance testing engineer. That's another role in the development team. They do the performance testing means.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, so it is means that we use the special tools like the load runner JMeter. So basically the 100 users will be signing up at the same time.
It's not gonna give any problem to them.
Make sure that the system is not breaking. That's the load testing. You don't need to understand more details because that's not your role. Database test case means whatever you tested, like whatever you did on the front end, right? You go to the database and you write the simple query. Query based on your data.
So that's like part of database engineering job.
No, you just verify your database. Like make sure whatever you did on the front end, you need to verify it is actually storing in the database.
We have to write the query, right?
Yes, you write the simple query. So to write the query, you'll know, you need to know the what table, what is the database name, what is the table, right? And then what is the data you have. That's it. You'll be learning, don't worry about it. So you need to verify. Again, test engineer, not your job. Test engineer need to verify while it is working on the mobile, working in the web. Oh, my vehicle is also there, but database need to have the same information. It all has to be apple to apple.
Correct.
You have the, yes, it all has to be apple to apple, cannot be apple to orange. Then it's a problem. And that's where the database testing comes. Just validation point of view. You are not creating a database. You are not deleting a database. You are not a database admin as a validation engineer. You are just validating your test case, what you have done on the website or the vehicle or the mobile. Good? Make sense? Because that's part of the job. Even many jobs, you only do the database testing, only. You do not do anything else. It's based on the project. User interface test case means whatever you saw. The website means that's the user interface. Yep. So mobile, whatever you see, that's the interface. Integration test case is important. Integration test case means you have a device here, you have a device here. If they need to be connected, that's called the integration. So connection is done. As an example, this camera and this mobile is integrated already. You don't need to worry who did it. DevOps engineer did it. But as a test engineer, you need to verify. I'm sending some data. If this device is receiving, that's called the integration testing. Make sense? Or I'm sending some data, it received this. This device need to send the data on the other device. You need to verify all 3 points. That's called the integration testing. So give an example. If you log in the mobile app, right? Mobile app, actually the front end or the client side. So now you need to actually go to the database to verify. Actually, this is integration testing. Make sense? Integration means connecting two devices or the more than 2 devices.
It's like front end and back end, right?
Yeah.
So it's like testing the connection between multiple devices.
Exactly. Multiple systems, multiple devices, multiple platform, right? So as an example of if we accept the Google translation in the TS40 website, it's integration, right? We accepted you guys received the email service, right? It's an integration. You watch the video, right? We have an integration there. So we have so many integration in the TS40 platform. You guys don't know, but this all the integration. Integration can be in your company, like you are developing 2 systems, like a mobile and the web, the 2 devices, or integration can be with the third-party company. As I said, video, email, payment, all the integration, all the vendor. Vendor means somebody is providing the service. I just accepted to use for my needs. Good? All right. And security test case, that the security test engineer does this kind of things. You do not need to worry about it.
Another role.
Yeah, another role. You're right. Another role. Called the cyber security test admin.
Yeah, so that's the cybersecurity.
Yep.
Okay.
Pen tester. It's called the pen tester. And the usability test case means, of course, you develop something, but something need to be usable, right?
Yes.
So if you know the Agile ALM, there is so many button does not work. You guys don't know this. It take time. That's not the usability. Usability test case means something actually you click it, it is working. So UI you can build. If you do not connect in the backend, or if you are not making it functional, it will not work. So it can be again for the mobile, can be web, can be vehicle, can be any device, same thing. Good. So those kind of test cases actually that we do the involve. Because functional is all the positive, negative, all of this. And each of the test cases or testing, you need the test data. But we understand what is the test data, right? Because we discussed about it. Look at this. Now we talked about the white box and black box. I think we covered already, right?
Yeah.
You guys look at it. Good. Let's continue what is functional testing. I think we discussed that as well.
Like
It's done.
Okay.
The goal of the functional testing, we already done. Make sense?
Yeah.
And that's how we say in our resume, we did the functional testing, positive, negative, smoke testing, regression testing. We said all of this because in the application, you really do all of this. You just don't understand, you just don't see it, but you do it.
Technically, you just do it, but
You are not just able to say it. Okay. Usability testing, we just said that your things has to be the friendly, all the buttons should be working. It is a functional, the things looks good, things easy to use. It's called the accessibility testing. There is another role. There is another role in the banking industry. It's called the accessibility tester. They just check the application just from the user point of view. Somebody cannot see, but there is something in the website. There is should be accessibility, like somebody cannot see it. Like people do the, whatever they call, whatever they do, like the people cannot walk, disabled people, right? But the disabled people can be hard of hearing or they cannot see. That's actually goes with the accessibility testing or usability testing. That's actually, there is a law in the United States, big companies has to follow.
what is it like?
There is a law. That's all I said. You do not need, that's not in your scope now, but there is accessibility testing. That's what they do.
So they have a different person or engineer to do that test, right?
There is a test analyst for that. You guys know the engineer versus analyst. Analyst who does not write the code,
Or
and the engineer who's sometimes writing some code of problem solving on something. That's in the it's not like the engineering role is in IT is different.
so my role is not engineering.
No, analyst is different than the engineering role. Yeah. So now you can see the testing involved interface testing. So anything you see, website, mobile, and desktop, all interface. Interface means you can see. Backend services, that's you guys will cover the next week. That's a big topic. And database server, database and backend is completely they are actually integrated with each other. We'll be talking about this. That's the super important here. Good. But the application, whatever you're doing, is called all functional and all the black box testing. And anything you are doing, click, 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 is called the manual, or you're tapping on your mobile app. That's called the manual. Good. This is it. Okay. And the database testing is test if any errors are shown while executing the queries. Data integrity is maintained while creating the updating. Creating updating means you send the apple in the database, it's like the apple and the garbage. So that's called the data integrity, right? Or you're sending the apple in database table, it shows the 1, 2, 3. The data did not match. Integrity. And deleting the data in the database. Or you just send something, database is shown and it's right away deleted again. Right? So you just cannot say anything, oh, it is working. You just need to do it to show it is working. And the check the response time of the query in the what is called. So if you do the testing, if you're just sending a data in the database, you are expecting it should be in 200 milliseconds should work. This requirement is also given by the business. 300 milliseconds, yeah. So if you are sending the remote operation from your mobile app, your vehicle should start in 5 seconds. That's what they're expecting. Regardless of how many integration involved, they don't care. Business will tell you we want in 20 seconds, vehicle should start. It's called the SLA, service level agreement. So literally as a vehicle validation engineer or the mobile app engineer, you do the start timer. You just hit the button. Now you see if it is working in 20 seconds, you say it passed. If in 20 seconds it did not work with the start, it failed. You create a bug. We'll be going over that. Make sense? This actually functional level performance requirements are given by the business. So you do the functional level performance testing. Means
So that's a part of acceptance criteria.
exactly. See, now you got it. Now you need to ask all these questions, right? How long you want? Because you don't want, if people get impatient right away if something does not work, right? It need to work right away. You see this? So you do the performance testing, but only functional level, only for functional. Function means one function, one person. Load testing means same functionality tested by the so many users. That's called the load testing. Okay? Virtual user, not the real user, because how many real user you can get. And the test data retrieved from the database is showing accurately, as I said. If you send the apple, in the database should display the apple. So that's part of the database testing. You need to say that. Testers should understand the functionality requirement, business logic, application flow, and database design thoroughly. You see this? So you cannot, because if you don't understand, things will not work. The testers should figure out the tables, trigger, store, procedure, views, and cuts are used for the application. So now you know what is the value. And by the way, you guys know that in the vehicle, there is a database too. Database in the server side, database in the vehicle as well. So database is everywhere. Means wherever you're storing the data, database should be there. They can be called different thing. That's not your goal. The goal is there is some type of storage that holding the business logic.
Our brain is a database.
Yeah, our brain is database. Yeah. So the tester should understand the logic. Okay, the tester should figure out the table. Okay. So now if you are testing the sign up, right? you need to ask the database engineer, or the software engineer, what table, what application, what is the table name? You need to know this. Then you can write the what? Query.
Query.
So you see this? So if your database has 100 of tables and you don't know which table you write the query and you're not asking, then nothing will go work. So in the database, you need to have the database access for the staging. I'm giving you answer. You need to know the database name and you need to know what database table you are going to write the query. And that's the basic. A little bit complex is different. After you sign in, you have to go to the product table to retrieve the product, right? Easy. It's not complex. But now there is two tables, right? So now we will be writing some inner join and the outer join. In the two table, we're just comparing. For this user ID, right? Means I did sign up. I want to check in the return table when I actually process the return. You need to check it. You just cannot just say it is working. That's not how it works. So that's how we write the inner join, outer join, right join, left join. It's all about the connecting, pulling the data between the two tables or the more than two tables to see your outcome. That's it. This inner join, outer join, right join, left join, and the simple database query save your life. Good?
So this is all about the database testing.
Yep, that's it. Nothing else. Database testing is all about the extracting the data, what you are actually sending from the front end and the back end. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. So like when you look at this, if you test this one, right, it should work in the iPhone 5. But business has to say, well, this application should not work in the iPhone 4 or iPhone 5. That's called, or this application should work in the Chrome browser before the release version 70, it should not work. That's called the compatibility testing. Or Firefox browser version has to be this. Good. So now what do you understand? A testing, a sign up, you can test in the different browser and different operating system, because business can say, we do not need the Linux user to use this application. Forget about the Linux. So now, of course, so you're good. They say, no, we need to use the Mac user. So you need the Mac test computer. You need the Chrome, Firefox, Safari, IE, all the compatibility testing. Same, mobile. iPhone, different version, the all business wants. So you see how the testing goes? It's not the simple either, right? That's the reason sometimes development takes like a couple hours. Testing can take couple days. Do you see the needs? So now the question is, preparing the test environment is important. Because if you want to test in the different mobile app, right? You need to test. If you're testing the different device, you need the different device. If you test in the different vehicle, same thing, right? It's called the test data preparation and test environment readiness. If you do not prepare your test environment, how you test it? You just cannot say it. That in the test case, it say you need the model year 24, the model year 25. You only have tested the model year 22. You did not test it enough. That's the compatibility testing. Good. I just give you an example from the web, from the mobile, from the vehicle, from the device. See, processes are not changing. When you build the foundation, if you're QA, you can go to the vehicle validation industry. If you're vehicle, you can come to the regular QA. That's the reason it is super.
What is harder?
There is no harder, all easy. You understand your work, everything is easy.
Well,
But
like
job is more in the regular one.
oh,
Job is limited in the vehicle industry, because vehicle industry is only the specific, but more job in the QA.
regular QAs.
Yes. And in some point, if you come out from the vehicle, if you
So
come with
we are
the
going to do QA and like
QA is the same. The quality assurance is the quality assurance. I mean, you have to learn the requirement, testing, test cases, bug. They are the same. They're even robust in the QA than the vehicle. Make sense? And then actually Instead of you are testing the app, oh, in the vehicle, you do the test the app and the vehicle. And in the QA side, the regular website, they just test on the web. But only one thing, since you asked the question, they write a lot of automation. QA side.
Okay.
And the
Now
vehicle
validation side, right?
validation, they are very limited, very less, because it's very complex. Okay. They have the tools for the testing, like the vehicle spy, vector canoe, those kind of tools, just to test the signal message of the vehicle.
Do they actually drive the vehicle?
Oh yes, you have to. You have to do everything. You have to drive the vehicle. You have to test on the bench. We'll go over this. Okay, so you're good with the compatibility testing, right?
Yes.
So browser compatibility, device compatibility, operating system compatibility. Make sense? Vehicle compatibility as well. Because if you make an app for the model year 24, this app should not be model year 2016.
It should be limited with the model.
Okay? See that? So that's the way that it is. Again, as I said, foundation is the same. It's just where you test. Okay, so let's see. Performance testing, I'm not going to touch it. It's just a performance test engineer just test, just the heavily loading. They use the special tools like the load testing tools. That tools have the capabilities, all the virtual user. Virtual user means not, it's like the real user, but it is not actual real user. It is the tools just testing. They're putting the pressure on the sign up, like the 100 user, and they do the 10 minutes testing to see if sign up is breaking. Because you know this, you're building something for the automotive industry. Tens of million people use this, right? So if the application, if they're strong, if it is not strong, it will be crash.
It's like Amazon, a lot of people log in at the same time.
Right. So that's the performance testing. They need this. You do not need to, if somebody asks you, yeah, I do not do the performance testing.
That's not part of my job.
Yeah. And peer review test case, that's what we discuss. If you develop the test case, product owner can review, and then your testing team can review to identify what the enough test case coverage, and the to follow the requirements, also follow the template and the testing format. And that's the peer review. And plus peer review is Sadman created the test cases. If the Halim is in the same project, Halim need to be executing. Why? In this case, before he execute, he actually set up a meeting with Sadman, how this test case need to be executed, what the test data is. He will try to do some type of what? Sandbox testing.
Is that
Means just trying it out, make sure everything is working fine.
also just like
Steps are good. Yes, try out, make sure he understand familiar with the test cases.
Okay.
So if he is writing the test case, Halim does not understand, that's the issues. And this is the reason, test case writing, to follow the wherever project you work, make sure everybody write the same way, the expectation is the same. And if in the any feedback you receive anytime, do not just get defensive, please. That's not the expectation. Okay, do not get the defensive. And what is test data? I think we already discussed, right? Vehicle validation, bin number is your test data. Web, any application you test, how to test, what do you need? That's the test data. And that's how you actually create the test data as well. You need to create the test data. That's part of your job. Make sense? Test data is important because you are saying that I need the 8 hours to test the requirements, but you do not have any test case, you do not have a test data, those will be problem. So in the Excel, you can use like this. You see this? Make sense? Now look at this. Email, password, username, first name, last name. Make sense? That's the unit. Based on the requirements, you need to maintain the test data. Good? Some test data you can use over and over. The sign up test data you cannot use over and over because it is after one time you cannot use. Question, any question about the test data? So you need to use the Excel or the whatever tools company use, you need to use. I think we already discussed about the positive testing, negative testing. Make sense? Positive testing means you are just sending the good data. Negative testing means you're sending the bad data and you're expecting system should not work. That's it. And negative testing, creating the negative test case is the most important for you to identify the system is working and system shouldn't work or should not work. So you see this, if you go as a QA, if you go with the product owner, they will know right away. Make sense? Because they know this because of the acceptance criteria. Okay, look at this. All the example is given. So looking this, that's how your time goes. 60 hours, 70 hours, that's how you need to write all of the test cases as professional as possible, because this test case, we need to do the automation down the path. So if you do not have a clean test cases, nobody can actually know what to automate, right? So to have to do the automation means to write the code, you need to have a clean test cases. Look at this, it tells everything pretty much. Good. And the test report is important. So if you like tested the sign up and sign in, right? You have 30 test cases you created. So of course you have all the test report, the test case, you can create a report. So many times test case pass, test case fail, test case like the blocker. Okay? Test case has blocker, you're fine. Yep. So your job is to write the test reporting as well. It's simple. 50 test case pass, 20 test case fail, 20 test cases block. Block means it's not, you cannot test now. That's the report. So that's also easy, it's not rocket science. So the manager can see what is the issues. Good. And then classification of software bugs. Bugs are important, right? We have to finish all of this today so you guys can have enough time. You guys understand, do you guys need a break? I can give a break, but this part need to be done today. We cannot do the 2 days.
What time should it be?
Uh-huh.
What time should it be?
Let's 1 more hour, then we should be good. Take
10-minute break.
Huh? Take a break only today, because then you guys are good. Then you can actually correlate where did the things come. If we
What hurts?
will be done. Don't worry.
Stand up.
Yeah, you can. Yes, stand. You guys want to break or continue?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, guys. This part you guys need to finish today.